pick. With the pool thinned out significantly here, we'll see what that means. As I do think Azir and Orianna will still be banned.
Yeah.
But picks like the Taliyah could be one that you might want to be looking for. Pantheon also being gone here permanently does change the shape of the drafts a little bit.
Yep. The Orianna, like you were talking about, still definitely going to be a permaban. I imagine that the Rumble and Azir should also join her. We'll see whether there is going to be a little bit more flexibility after the Karma is also just banned away. Might be a thing. But let's just see where the bros are going with their second one. It will just be the Rumble tax being paid.
So Rumble gone, and they likely have to ban Azir in this final spot. We'll see what Hanwha Life eSports decide to do. But I suppose Loki could first pick it here. Taliyah won't have a Pantheon if Zeka wanted to play that. And there's a lot of other picks that we could see pushed forward. Mid might just not get picked up early, depending on what these bans end up being. Caitlyn consistently banned.
Yeah, against Teddy. Kind of interesting one, given the fact that Gumayusi was a bit of a Caitlyn aficionado himself. But not going to be seeing it from either of these players, at least in games 1 or 2. Might be the only amount of games we're going to get, unless that bro tax does get in. You know, that's very important.
Did they try to angle for the Azir first pick? They banned Karma, so it does seem that that is likely what they are looking for here. And now this might just be banned away from Hanwha Life eSports. And then what does that mean? Okay, going to ban Poppy instead. So they have an answer prepared if that is going to come out. It's not that Azir is giga broken in terms of his buffs, but it puts him back to a really relevant state. And he's just Azir. Like, his kit is still the same. He does too many things. And so it's not a shock to see this one locked away.
Yep. I imagine not wanting to leave it for Zeka. The problem is, now you can just get Akali.
Akali, Yone, if you wanted to play that type of draft, you can play
can
Taliyah.
Zeka play those?
Or you just go Ashe Seraphine and say it doesn't even matter what we get in the mid lane.
Or just lock in a Xin Zhao as well and just say,
you don't have to lock the Seraphine
we can lock Seraphine later if we would like to. Unless the bros decide to take it away.
Xin Zhao is definitely the top tier jungler that is available and safe to pick in any scenario in these drafts right now. What's getting going to do? Pick Trundle? Try to play Trundle Azir into this? He might, but...
What about Kha'Zix? You know, that was a thing.
Yeah.
Played into Xin that one time.
Yeah, that one time in that one finals.
Yeah.
Canyon, good job. He is just going to lock the Trundle.
He is going to play the Trundle into it. There you go.
I mean, what else is he going to do? He could play Lee Sin and hope they can get to Ashe somehow. As they are going to play a Renekton into Ashe Seraphine, which is always a challenge, always a tough time, always an unfun time, always a, I hope I don't get rooted or arrowed or slowed.
Hey, you've got
or
Slice. You can slice out of the way, Wolf. It'll be okay.
And then Dice, but there's too many things.
Also, he's a top laner. Like he's going to see the bottom lane champions ever in this game. It's fine.
Fair. I mean, it's a pretty safe blind pick here. They can protect it now in the second phase.
Yep. It's going to need some solo lane bans here out of the bros. And I think HANJIN BRION are actually in a decent spot because now they can protect this Azir pick a little bit more. I think we are going to see something like an Akali going to be banned away here just because Zeka is pretty good at that champ.
It could also ban Gnar and give this Renekton a pretty safe and free time.
Yeah,
in the top lane.
It's kind of a pick your poison, right? Maybe
Which
you
solo
ban
lane do you want to
Gnar
protect?
and Akali, and then just say, like, well, you can play Yone if you'd like to, you can play Kennen if you like to, but we're going to get rid of the things we really don't want to see. Might be one of those options, but Akali was obviously going to be taken away.
Yeah, Akali is quite strong right now, and it is taken away. Makes a lot of sense. The Nautilus was removed, as winning the Ashe Seraphine lane is difficult unless you get that, you know, crazy engage, like kind of all-in angle with a bottom lane, which could be done by a Lulu and a Gnar lane. Could have been done by some sort of Nautilus setup, but both of those tools are now removed. So,
Wolf, are you ready?
Don't say
Teddy Namgung, Zeri Yumi.
Don't say it.
I said it. I'm not even scared, okay? Kennen going to be the decision here, as of course it is Zeus, so getting rid of the Kennen does make some sense. His Gnar is also
I think
really good.
Gnar works fine. I think Scion works fine. You know, anything that can extend the Seraphine ultimate is going to feel fantastic here. You front to back with this Ashe, you pop off. Guma got MVP of the World's Finals with an amazing performance on this pick.
Yeah.
Just a few months ago. This draft here for Hanwha Life eSports is completely open-ended. You could do anything.
Well,
maybe not this.
Well, they're going to do that instead. Okay, so there is a Ziggs. Mel going to be
locked in.
Pyke
What?
bottom lane. Okay, that is a different bottom lane that I was expecting. We were seeing a lot of Mel in first stand, largely used in the mid lane. Haven't necessarily seen it as a bottom lane pick, but I believe she was more popular in bottom lane elsewhere, outside of the LCK, when she debuted. So this is a little bit of fun out of HANJIN BRION. I don't know whether it's good, but it is fun, as we've now got Zeus considering playing a Nivea top, but it's probably just going to be Gnar. And there it is, Zeka taking a leaf out of APA's book with a bit of the Ziggs mid. Kind of fun.
It is very fun. It is very much able to outrange Azir, and that's why it's picked here. Similarly to how we'd in the past sometimes see like Varus mid into Azir, or, you know, Faker occasionally is like pressing his X key and locking in Xerath in the mid lane into Azir. We've seen that as well. But
I mean, you're talking about like 2013 to 2015, Wolf. I absolutely love it. However, that's a long time ago.
I mean, the Ziggs in this draft kind of works because
I know it's a perfect reference.
They cannot really reach him. You know, the Pyke. Good luck with that one. The Pyke and Mel lane in the bottom lane is quite interesting because the Mel will get the bottom lane role quest and will actually farm an incredible amount of money moving into the mid game, so actually can hit 3 items really quickly.
Yeah.
As well as the fact that she's going to do decently in the lane itself. Obviously, early on will struggle, but will eventually start to be able to handle and clear those waves. What the Ashe Seraphine is doing, and just has a lot of extra follow-up burst damage. I just don't think this draft gets off the ground, unfortunately, for the side of HANJIN. Especially this Renekton pick is going to really just be a handbag, you know, with kind of ragdoll physics in this one.
I mean, it all kind of depends on how this game starts off, but I at least enjoy that they've cooked a little, right? It's a bit of a fun draft. It could theoretically work, and this time, Teddy could certainly carry. Let's get into the Rift here for game number 2. All right, the pro fans trying to work out the HANJIN BRION call. So far, the cadence hasn't been quite sorted out. However, we are getting there slowly but surely. GIDEON unable to quite get the reset to work out as quickly as he would like, and that ward is going to stay alive. But they already did get information that he was starting on his top side.
He got his +5, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the main thing. Okay, casting and Zeus still, you know, starting things off. Obviously, if you do get up into melee range, the Renekton can figure some things out.
Here's the thing about the Renekton, right? Like, you picked Renekton early in this draft, so this is the issue I have with it. You picked it early in the draft. You know you're playing into Ashe, so you also know you're playing into Ashe Seraphine.
Yes.
We knew this. And they didn't ban the Gnar because they protected Loki instead. Ended up playing into Ziggs anyways. So now you're having a tough top lane matchup. This Mel pick doesn't necessarily solve what's going down here in the bottom lane, especially if you don't hit your hooks.
Yeah, Namgung is just going to get
almost deaded?
Almost deaded, yeah. That's what I was looking for. Thank you for the help there, Wolf, as they do crash this wave in. Thankfully, does get a bunch of his health back when he goes out of vision, and so therefore is going to drink the potion and regen a bunch of that health.
Yeah, they love those underwater champions in the gray health, don't they?
Yeah, they really do. The Bilgewater lets just have gray health bars.
Maybe a Fizz rework in the future.
There we go. I mean, I think Fizz is annoying enough.
Imagine when he goes untargetable, he just gets half his health back.
Yeah, it's a really great way. It'd be a very playful trickster, absolutely. That's all right. Casting and Zeus here hanging out towards his top side of the map still, as the bomb comes back. And Loki down to 200 health on this Azir.
Imagine picking up a newspaper and like the front page just says, "Don't read it, it's all bad." That's kind of like what bro fans are reading right now. They're like, they took a little break after game 1, you know, went to the store. They're like, surely we'll go to 3, so I'm going to go get some snacks. And then they come and check in. What's going on in game 2? Let me take a look at that draft. Let me take a look at that early game. And they see Loki pushed out of lane, Ashe Seraphine crushing the bottom lane, and Renekton's playing in an R, and it's like,
hang on a second. Namgung is about to walk over a ward.
A bit of a skirmish for Scuttle again.
Yeah, GIDEON going to be able to grab that one, as Delight looking for that beat drop. and not able to quite lock down Namgung, but does get him out of there. As now GIDEON looking to make his way towards Zeka, who is completely out of mana.
Satchel is available, but he doesn't have the mana to use it, just flashes.
Ooh, double scuttle here for the Trundle after getting a flash out of the mid laner. This is a pretty good start here for the Bro Jungler.
Yeah, it's a really good start for the Trundle that will somehow have to run into Ziggs, Ashe, Seraphine
Wolf,
later on.
Stop it. Done with your pessimism.
I'm sorry, like, I know it's early on in the season and we can't be starting like this, but...
All right, okay, there's the combo. His first blood over to Namgung. Take that, Wolf, you negative Nancy.
All right. That's a real good thing, actually. That's not the fake good thing of the double scuttle. Actual real solid advantage that could translate into large win conditions. This could also be...
All right.
Something, maybe?
Yeah, Casting going to walk over towards Kanavi, who does get knocked up, does get the knock up. There is the kennel going down as Zeus looks for the wallop. Will connect it there onto GIDEON, who's going to have to flash to get himself out of here. But the flash immediate follow, and Zeus going to lock down the kill onto the Trundle. That 2v2 did not feel very fair at all, as Kanavi looking for even more.
If Kanavi told Zeus, I got this 1v2, bro, just stay where you are, it would have felt okay. But instead it was not.
Oh. Okay, well, Namgung looking for an angle here. Does find the stun onto the Xin Zhao. He looks to just try and lock down the camp because I think he knew that he was dead. As the Seraphine moves up as well, that is a kill. It's the Bros in the lead as far as gold, kills. I mean, it's working, kind of.
Yeah. Don't look at this. Don't look at that. But it's,
yeah, there we go. See, replay. Yes, let's do that.
So, look, this is a great hook. Teddy gets the follow-up instantly. This is part of why this lane is a thing in the first place, is you can easily set up the route afterwards. Here in the 2v1, that's all fine and good. The problem is that there's a Gnar on the other side. Casting only has one empowered ability, so he's like, I use my W. He's like, I'm out of here, by the way. I can't get an empowered Q to get that health back, so you're just on your own. Kanavi follow flashes here. Then Kanavi does a Kanavi move in staying. And because Namgung is a scholar of the LPL, he's like, I bet he's on here. Does come over here, verifies it. And this is kind of a Keria-esque move, right? Like, this is Keria-esque in terms of getting the early hook right, getting the kill bottom side, roaming, making a play top side, punishing an overextension. That's the kind of Pyke play you want to see.
And it was also like, normally, I think that Casting would have just gone home. They would have just tried to go for a reset, and Kanavi would have got away with that. But the fact that the Bros were like, no. Kanavi sticks around. He wants to take even more from this, and they punish him for it. I think that this is the hubris that Kanavi was punished for in the LCK Cup as well. It's a large reason why HLE did struggle down there. So I'm looking forward to seeing whether the Bros are going to be able to carry this one through, as now we're looking for even more. There's the Emperor's Divide onto Kanavi like we were talking about before, but the Mega Inferno Bomb goes down. GIDEON gonna have to keep himself alive. Doesn't have the ultimate running just yet. Namgung finds another one. The Bone Skewer is gonna take down Kanavi again. 0-2 for the Xin Zhao, and 1-0-2 for Namgung. 100% kill contribution. This guy's Pyke is kind of popping off.
We found Namgung's champion. We found it. Yeah. All right, he looks really good on this one, but he didn't have enough damage to get that initial kill. And I'm going to rotate over as Teddy's going to dodge the arrow.
Flash out of the way. Did want to have that rebuttal available for that, but used it on a volley instead, as Namgung going to have to get out of there and will be able to do so. But now, without flash on Teddy, could be a killable Mel in that bottom side, as GIDEON going to find Kanavi moving towards the river once again. And when a Trundle is just bigger than you, it's really hard to exist as a jungler. Zeka going to be moving on over, but GIDEON still gets the chomp, and down goes the Xin. That's a solo bolo for the Bro jungler.
GIDEON is just eating him for lunch, and I was really talking about how this Trundle is going to struggle to do things later on, because you're playing into the Ashe, the Seraphine, etc., satchel charge, but he's doing it before team fights. He's doing it before 5v5s. And we will see in this fight here again, they look for this right onto GIDEON. He's like, okay, well, I'm doomed. I'm going to have to try to look for the bomb. Goes back in after the wind becomes lightning. But they cannot actually burst him down. Then Namgung shows up, hits this hook.
Beautifully played.
Now, I did the research. I did the check. Namgung has a 100% win rate on this champion across his career. He has never lost a game. He is also playing his second game of his career.
Do not give me the sample size, Wolf! No!
But, look, Kanavi gets chomped here. GIDEON has level 6. Gets the advantage because he's able to out-farm. He is controlling this jungle matchup incredibly well. The tempo he has. Now, Namgung again.
Oh my, it's a reel. He's just styling on them. Gumayusi, not a whole lot of opportunity. Does have to flash to get himself out of the way, but use the Ghost as well. The Bros just fully taking control here in this game.
Yeah, Guma's like, I used to play alongside a Pyke like that. I don't think I was playing against one today. And, oof, good start here for the Bros. Again, it's a small lead, but they need this tempo badly to make this comp work.
They really do. I think that this composition has more legs than what they had in game number 1, though, right? As the arrow is, oh my goodness, just barely not going to connect. And the Bros are able to walk out of the way. Does get a bit of information. It's kind of like a very expensive hawk shot.
True.
That they threw through there. There were minions in the mid lane, though, so I guess they could see them anyway. So it's not exactly working. Gumayusi is going to take a bit of damage here from Teddy. Does have that overwhelmingness available. Throws it down there as they get the heal out.
Yeah, Namgung's here, so I think that's the right call. He does not have ultimate, though, but still better safe than sorry to drop that heal.
Yep. Still going to annoy Delight there as he lands another bone.
It's still a win, right? Even if they don't get the kill, they're just shoving another wave in, getting more plate gold to Teddy. But like I said, once he gets into the mid lane and once his quest is complete, he is going to farm up a Storm. They're also going to turn this into first Drake. And bro, they get the Infernal Dragon, so a great Elemental Dragon to start. Everything is coming up bro-sided here. And you know, I actually had a conversation with GIDEON about this just maybe it was yesterday or 2 days ago about how we were debating about whether Hanwha Life eSports, like, should we buy the stocks now or sell, you know, continue to say, like, we're not sure. I said my biggest concern is playstyles are really difficult to change. And Kanavi has spent the better part of a decade in the LPL. And so far in this game, I think it's come back to bite him a little bit. And, you know, this is one of those games where if you had just played a little bit safer, a little bit more, the game state looks completely different, right? And Hanwha Life eSports are definitely in a comp that can come back. Like, this is not a lost game by any means. It's GIDEON once again with the gank.
Yep. Let's see whether Namgung can find it. Finds the double snare as Teddy also able to layer it in. But Namgung this time is going to get punished as Kanavi was lying in wait. And HLE are going to be able to win out in the skirmish on the bottom side. Now looking to push further forward as Teddy could be in a bunch of trouble. The flash over from Kanavi as he gets the audacious charge in. And the arrow will connect. The encore from downtown and Teddy will be taken out. It's Kanavi that grabs that kill as Loki. I just do not think that this is going to be your time to shine, my friend, and he agrees as he backs away. Now GIDEON tries to put them in the kennel, exactly right. As now casting, flashing onto Zeus. Let's see whether he can actually win the fight as he's looking for the opportunity. Dominus is down, and he's closed the gap onto this mini Gnar. But now he doesn't have a lot of gap close remaining, and the Dominus not going to be enough to kill this mini Gnar here in the top lane. So the Bros,
flash either.
Yeah, trying to find some opportunities here, but HLE now with a gold advantage.
It would have been really tough for him to slice there onto Zeus and then get another empowered W when it came back. As Namgung's going to go for another pass here.
Oh dear. I think Kanavi is still, never mind, maybe he's actually gone back. No, never mind. He has remained in the brush, so don't go for it.
Yeah, Namgung was very aware that, like, of course Kanavi will still be on Krugs. Maybe he should have been aware that, of course, he'll be looking in his brush.
Yeah.
He knows parts of Kanavi, but not all. It's Titanic gear for Kanavi as well as his first item.
That is
It's a unique choice.
Usual. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
He's going to be missing his Sundered Sky, potentially in some upcoming scraps.
Let's have a look at this one more time. Is Kanavi just perfect position?
Yeah, bro, like me, are unaware when I got super hyped for the double stun here from Namgung that Kanavi is in fact here. Not only is he here, but he's closer than their jungler. And then Teddy has already used his rebuttal, so he cannot actually stop the arrow, and the follow-up encore is brilliant.
Yep. And then Loki, nothing he can really do, but at least does not die for it. So now the gold is, I mean, it's not a massive number or anything like that. The Bros still with an opportunity, but HLE taking back control. GIDEON going to be helping out casting here. He just gets slammed into this turret and will just be taken out. Zeka with the big old bomb is going to be able to take him down. Now Namgung looking to try and get in here and support GIDEON.
They got to buy time for Loki to get here.
Yeah, decent little bone skewer to buy a little bit of space, but the bouncing bombs are flying forward and Namgung has no health bar to speak of. GIDEON, the same situation here as it looks like Zeka has come online. Loki, very, very late to this one as Kanavi, I think he's dead. Emperor's Divide is going to sweep him up, but now that's not going to be available for protecting this turret, which is likely to go down. Teddy is liberal with his use of the rebuttal.
Yeah, I
get a little bit anxious
about that. Yeah, I had the same feeling. I was like, that's not what you want to. That's not what you want to block in this scenario. He pressed his buttons. Look, your GIDEON's coming up. So is Namgung, but you know, you're just a sitting duck here. You don't have flash because you looked for the flash play earlier on the Zeus and didn't get anything out of it. And then here, Namgung is like, come on, Loki, we can play this, but realistically, they cannot, in fact, play this. And now, you know, it's the two sides of Kanavi, right? The over-aggression sometimes comes back to bite you, but sometimes gets you a huge edge. In this situation, he was kind of up a creek without a paddle. Loki is finally able to get something from that rotation, but all the while, Guma was free-farming in the bottom lane. And Hanwha Life eSports have basically tripled their small lead now into 2,000. And Zeka's going to be able to satchel this turret. A lead for the bros feels like now it might have just been very short-lived.
At least we got to talk about it, though.
Yeah.
You know, that's what feels fantastic, having an opportunity to sing some praises. Now, we're going to go back to what we were talking about kind of in the majority of game number 1, which is the uphill battle that the bros find themselves in. Zeus does now have his Trinity Force complete. Casting still looking for item number 1 himself. As Gumayusi parked in this mid lane. And I think... yeah, I'm now a little bit more worried for what the bros are going to be able to do. However, if these Qs keep landing, Teddy's going to be having a better time.
I would love to, you know, just win a team fight. Just one team fight. You know, I mean, I know that sounds very basic, but this Mel can explode in the mid game if that happens, but they just don't have great tools from behind, and they held onto the tempo for a while. And it has certainly shifted to the other side now, as Loki even gets satcheled here.
Yeah, and Kanavi looking for an angle here towards Namgung. And the Pyke will die to like a second and third auto attack.
They could consider a dive here for sure. Loki may have to just, I mean, best of luck.
Yeah, let's see whether Loki can survive this one, as they do get the bone skewer, and Zeka could be in trouble. There's the Flash Emperor's Divide, as Loki is just dead. And Zeka also managed to kill the Pyke at the same time. Mega Inferno Bomb goes down, and Zeka is becoming a gigantic problem here in this game. Delight is dead, so there's at least that, but still...
Another wave. Gideon has to try to run away.
Yeah, Kanavi looking for that 3-talon strike. Will be able to get the slow from the wind becomes lightning, and there it is, the last shot. Gumayusi should be able to help lock this one down. He is gifted that kill, as Teddy is just going to try and grab some scraps here in this mid lane. Casting is getting punished by Zeus on the top side, and once again, just kind of looks like HLE are winning everywhere.
They really are. I mean, it was a heroic play there from Loki, looking for the punish, but it's just not enough, unfortunately. And Teddy didn't have TP, he does now. If he had TP and he TPs in, instead of backing here, then it's a different story. He decides, okay, I can't help out, at least I'm going to push since Zeka's down here. Fantastic two-man Emperor's Divide. The pillar placed as well. And Gideon gets one kill back here. And he does not touch the light, so the kill actually goes over to Loki, which is exactly what they want. But unfortunately for him, he just cannot get out slowed. Kanavi will take his life with the help of Gumayusi. 400 more gold in his pockets.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Because
I just don't
Teddy was the only one with a gold advantage. Still does have a slight one, but it's really not feeling like much of anything at all. As the bros might be able to get the second Drake.
If it's X-Tech Soul, you know, you're feeling pretty good about the meaning of the two Drake lead, the double dragon that they have picked up here. And for Zeka, you're feeling pretty good about the fact that even though you didn't have Flash, no one is diving you, and you will get away with this back for free. Picks up Shadow Flame. Oh, Shadow Flame at 16.5 minutes on the Ziggs. He is doing boom boom damage, and he does it very quickly and very burstily.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I'm pretty impressed by Zeka's Ziggs so far. He's known as a little bit more of the mastery player. Champion pool is something that we talk about with this guy quite a lot. But looking really good on a pick that isn't necessarily in his wheelhouse.
Agree. That's a really good point you bring up. I was kind of skeptical of it, although the rest of the draft made me feel like it wouldn't matter, but he's kind of popping off, Atlus, and so that's a good thing.
Having a good time, as Namgung is not going to quite find the bone skewer, and also just has to dash his way out of there.
We've gotten to the point of the game where Hanwha Life eSports have control, Kanavi has free reign, and they're going to take this turret out, and you see HANJIN BRION just cowering, you know, on their side of the map, trying to farm. And yeah. That is a problem for how this draft needs to work. It needed to be ahead. It needed to have tempo advantage. It needed to be able to set the pace of fights and not try to avoid all of the CC. It just doesn't look like that's ever going to happen as Kanavi goes in.
Yep, there's the knock-up as, okay, Teddy does find an angle for the rebuttal. The Encore does go wide as now Gideon thinks that this may be an opportunity, casting on a flank angle, but doesn't really want to go in alone, and the rest of the bros are a little bit too far behind. HLE looking to turn and take themselves down a crocodile. They might be able to do so as Gideon goes in, leads with the subjugation and does put down the kennel, but they are not going to overcommit onto anything here, and Mega Inferno Bomb almost just kills Namgung outright. Yeah, that Shadow Flame's a problem, Wolf.
Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. This lead that he has is quite large. I think Bro played that well, but again, HANJIN Life eSports called it. They saw the flank. They were like, all right, let's turn on him and push away. If Teddy's given a little bit more time to layer some damage in, maybe Bro could have eventually chipped away, but it's the right call to leave there. And luckily for Namgung, he does escape with his life, but Flash now on cooldown. And Bro just have to keep farming. Yeah, Teddy is still the win con, which is kind of always the story with this squad, but there's just not a whole lot of turrets to farm behind, right? Which means objectives go for free. Your jungle starts going to Kanavi, and any LPL or LCK fan currently will tell you that's what he loves to do, is to take the enemy jungle, and he will take every opportunity to get in there, take your vision away, take your wolves away, take your blue, your red, your grump, your Krugs even.
Yeah, all of your stuff is just going to be something that he's looking to take away. Is it going to be this next Drake? Well, we'll find out in 2.5 minutes. Baron going to be up in 1 minute's time. We were talking about Hextech Dragon, which would have been cool. It's an Ocean Soul. It's not exactly the most pivotal. However, still would help if the Bros can get there, but the Double Dragon is feeling less impactful than it otherwise could be. These bouncing bombs also really hurting, as Casting just wondering what he's supposed to do here. As at least Namgung doesn't die immediately, but man, these bouncing bombs really do hurt. Teddy moving forward, but this inner turret is going to be in satchel range incredibly quickly. There it is, and down it goes. Now Kanavi goes in, looking for that opportunity as the Crocodile, I mean, blink and you'll miss it. Casting is just lying on the floor. You were talking about the handbag syndrome that this Renekton could be faced with, and that is indeed what is happening.
It's just like game one, where I'm watching Loki go well, farming over here. Sorry about what's happening on the other side, but I'm not going to TP in.
Yeah, just play safe bottom lane. Let's see whether they can do so as the flash forward from Kanavi once again. Flash out from GIDEON. We'll be able to keep him alive, but this is an inhibitor turret being sieged at 20 minutes, and Zeus is on the other one in the mid lane. Loki, come home! Come home, please!
Doesn't have his satchel. Turret's going to survive, but...
All right, I mean, that's TP. Something.
They almost get the turret, I suppose. In that last pick onto Casting, the only thing they could have done is like Teddy presses rebuttal, but you know he's not in range, so it didn't do anything. What is he supposed to do? Flash in front of Casting and look for the rebuttal on the encore?
Yeah. That would have been crazy. And then dash cannon out.
Yeah. He also went for the Rocket Belt, which I was going to mention. Which, I mean, Rocket Belt has really good stats in general, so it's not the worst buy on a mage pick like this, but it is quite unusual.
I mean, we've seen just. I think if you're a mage player that likes having it, you can build it and get away with it, right? I think it's one of those type situations.
What if you're just an AD carry player who doesn't play mages, who's forced into the awesome dude in this situation?
I mean, Teddy was always kind of okay at it.
He liked Gale Force, you know?
Yeah,
same thing, basically, right?
Pretty much the same item. As Casting looking for another flank opportunity. Might be able to get in there. Does have the Dominus as the arrow will connect onto Namgung, and he's just obliterated. There's the encore as well as Loki. He dashes out of the way of it. GIDEON surviving for a very long time as the Mel is able to take down the Zhao. And Casting gets in there. Slice and dicing and looking pretty cool here as the Ashe will be taken out. It's a triple for Zeka though, and he's still at full health. Casting trying to get on top of Zeus, who flashes out of the way. The Mega Inferno Bomb goes down as Teddy. Can he manage to get the execution? And he finds it. And now it's Teddy versus Zeka. The sidesteps are good. The Hextech Minefield doesn't quite land. And there is the Q. They are just going to back away, though, as Zeka says, okay. And they will escape as, man, that was a much better fight for the Bros than I was expecting. And maybe it's not over as he finds the Q. Teddy wins it out, and that's a delayed ace.
Gives him the kick W. There he goes. All right, delayed ace. Dropping the 6.5 to 5,000 gold.
There you go. And we were saying Teddy has to carry. Well, now he's killed everyone on the enemy team.
The most hype thing about this fight is that Bro can pull this off from this deficit, right? And the biggest problem for HANWha Life eSports is if they don't have Guma. And this flank from Casting is phenomenal because he gets on top of Guma. Guma gets deleted, right? Gets a lot of damage done, but once he's gone, Zeka is cooldown-based carry, so isn't able to do as much damage with this Ziggs as Teddy can, really, on this Mel, and they still have the threat of that Renekton. And even though Casting does go down here, Teddy is able to outplay this, has his ultimate, and then once Zeka decides to stick around here, Teddy finds him and gets him with the execute damage. So he does eventually go down. We'll speed this up and then show that. But Teddy is starting to get online. That's one of the other big things. Yes, there's still 5,000 gold behind, but this Mel just got a ton of money.
She did. Teddy is a very large deal. I believe had an needlessly large rod and a amp tome. And okay, that's just a Shadow Flame.
They just bought a Shadow Flame outright.
And another needlessly large rod. It already didn't need to be that big, and he just got another one. Okay.
He's 2,000 gold ahead of Gumayusi right now. Guma's got to, you know, he didn't go cleanse, obviously. He's got to be careful about those Renekton flanks as Kanavi and crew are going to start this Baron up. Very difficult for Bro to stop this.
I mean, there is a Blast Cone, so GIDEON could possibly get on in there.
Let's see how much
have to be a turn here for HLE as they are backing away.
Yeah, let's see how much.
Get the teleport out of casting.
Let's see how much damage maybe Teddy could look for here if they wanted to stay on the Baron as well. I was going to say, but they are just going to simply leave, which I think is the right call.
Yeah, so HLE got what they wanted, right? They wanted to get that teleport out. Now Zeus will have his backup and available earlier, so they should be able to play these side lanes pretty comfortably. Vision, pretty good here for HLE as well, as they do know what's going on as GIDEON. Oh my goodness. I mean, Zeka just does a lot of work as... Oh no! Loki immediately punished! That is not the shot he wanted to take!
Oh man, he's looking for the shuffle, and he gets interrupted by the arrow. Guma's looking at his teammates and saying, yeah, I did that on purpose.
Oh no!
I knew he was going in.
He was diving to catch it, you know? It's just not really what you want to see as Namgung does get some vision of this.
Teddy could layer a lot of damage in here.
Let's see whether they can make this one happen as Zeus does blow up the Blast Cone. GIDEON has no flash, so he has to walk in if they want to take this, and the Bros have decided that they're not going to be able to win out, and they'll just let the Baron go. Mega Inferno Bomb almost kills Namgung, even though it only hits the edge. And the Rebel Baron power play already up to 800 gold. And man, it feels like the Bros are like, they're getting half a step forward and then they're pushed back 11 steps downhill.
I mean, this is just like so unlucky, right? Look at Guma's angle here. There's no way you could convince me he was trying to stop a shuffle.
And I think Loki saw it and then was trying to use the shuffle to get out of the way of it, but then hitbox.
I think he wanted to try to set up for a potential real engage angle there, and he just ends up getting interrupted, so can't do anything and dies, and Guma gets to laugh all the way to the bank because his angle was good before the shuffle as well, as you were saying, and now Hanwha Life eSports get a Baron off of that one.
And we have to remember, like, there is only one plate remaining in the bottom lane inhibitor turret. I mean, GIDEON is looking for an angle towards Zeus here as Teddy is likely to be able to help take him down. Zeus is dead, but can they get more? That's the question. HLE have a lot of people in this top lane, and this inhibitor is not long for the world.
I think you just have to give this and try to get mid-turret, and you know that Hanwha Life eSports aren't going to be able to push through the Nexus turrets here. In fact, they're going to look for a TP to defend mid. So Teddy just barely gets this before he gets out. Losing casting could lose you the game, though.
Yep, the Sun Disc does go up, and now Kanavi is looking for casting, and he will just be taken out. The encore will be avoided. Good dash cannon to get out for Loki as the beat drop comes on through, but does not connect on to the Azir, so he will at least stay alive, but top laner for top laner, and inhibitor turret does go down as well. Teddy at least gets the Rabadons, so that's something, but I'm still putting this in the cons column for the Bros.
They don't lose the game right there, so
Nexus alive.
They're on soul point for an Ocean Soul, kind of technically a positive.
There you go. I know it's a stretch to get the cup to be half full, but it's almost there.
He has a 4th item death cap. He has a lot of ability power, and I think that if you can somehow kill Guma and Zeus, every fight is winnable. Good luck doing that.
Honestly, if you could kill all of HLE, probably winnable.
I think the problem is now that Zeus is so large, like even if you kill Guma, he's actually a better AD carry than Guma in this game. And he's building some MR here as well. He's going to end up having that wit's end, which makes it even more difficult for Teddy to carry into him. You have double AP with this Azir, so it's a great item choice.
Well, Kanavi possibly out of position here as there's the Crescent Guard pulled over the base gates as the arrow is going to go wide. Gets a flash though out of Teddy, and that is a huge deal. As now the mobility is low for this Mel. And we'll take another inhibitor.
Just like game one inhibitor at a time. Hanwha Life eSports are just picking Bro apart.
This time though, they have 0 dragons.
Yeah. And Teddy, he doesn't have flash, but he's got dash cannon, so
there you go.
He uses rocket belt to get it out of any situation, surely. I mean, Loki, his last dash was into an arrow, but now he's got dash cannon to, have some additional mobility as well. It's already worked out once for him. Maybe they just survive a little bit longer. Teddy gets one more item.
Well, let's just see. Zeus down to 50%. They're looking for the last remaining inhibitor turret. And this is the problem. HLE just seem to be able to siege with impunity. It's just not a whole lot that the bros can do about it, as there's a teleport angle. This is the Hail Mary as Gideon turns up as well, and they get their melee people into the backline, but HLE, they just regroup. Gideon gonna have to flash out of there. Now Casting losing his health bar very, very quickly as the shield comes in. Mega Inferno Bomb, and Casting's almost dead. The Comet almost killed him, as at least he's able to limp his way out of there, but that was the bro's shot, and unfortunately it missed.
Yeah, I guess maybe he didn't go Scorch, and his Scorch damage wasn't enough. That would have been the Scorch angle, Scorch Enjoyer there, but they're going to get this third and final inhibitor, it looks like here. Oh, they really want it. It's super low, but going to play a little bit more respectfully here. Wait for that next wave.
I think they should be able to find it, as inhibitor will go down. Now, Gideon has walked all the way around.
He's just trying to hold this wave so it's not fully stacked.
Yeah, Kanavi is just going to fight him, though. And I just don't think Gideon really wins it. Although he does have, I don't know, might be able to work. Okay, Loki, he finds the angle and takes down Zeka. He sacrifices himself, though, for it. And now it's Gumayusi's time to shine. Takes down 2 already. That's going to be a 3rd. And he's looking for even more as Teddy backing away towards his fountain. But Gumayusi has Nexus turrets in his eyes. And HLE, I think they're going to put an end to this series right here, right now, as the flash over the top as Teddy at least rebuts something, and we'll be able to stop that beat drop from coming through. And there goes Gumayusi for now. Can they actually hold on to this game? As Kanavi says, absolutely not. And he'll take down the Nexus and conclude this 2-0 for HLE.
I do think that draft was a major problem for HANJIN in this series, but Teddy played valiantly in both games.